Hey everybody, today I want to share with you how and why it's important to build a website for artists. The reason why it's important to keep it simple and have a platform is so that people can access you. And now I understand that as artists, the last thing we want to do is probably put our hands in the tech world and build something when all we want to do is create artwork. And I'm here to say that it's very important that we put out our beliefs and our needs and our artwork, because it's another channel of revenue that can come towards you, and you never know who's going to stumble on your page. So making sure it's super clear in following 4 components will support you in creating a website that's easy to follow and easy to use. So start off with whether you're using Squarespace or Shopify. I have a video that breaks down both, and I personally prefer Shopify for this because I find it more intuitive and easier to use. So the first component is that you need to have your artwork for sale. Now, whether you're working with a gallery or not working with a gallery, it's important that you own the sale of your artwork. I know a lot of artists who are afraid to put a price behind their work because they don't know if it's going to be worth it to the clients or your commissioners. And I'm here to say that you get to determine the price of your artwork and the worth of it. So you feel confident in putting a price tag behind the piece. The reason being is because you never know who's going to land on your website, and you never know who's going to purchase it from you. And you being confident enough to put a price tag on your artwork is the very first step in owning your sales cycle, in being a salesperson, because all artists must be a salesperson because you're selling yourself at the end of the day. I have another video that talks about how to sell your artwork, and I highly recommend watching that if you're interested at all at learning how to be a better salesperson with your work. So own your sales cycle is the first one. Have your artwork for sale. Run an e-commerce site, okay? And you get to go in there and set up all your shipping parameters, etc. But you call the shots on the price. You get to determine how much you get paid. That's pretty fucking cool, okay? The second one is putting up a contact page. In this contact page, you can have your commissions, if you're going to be accepting anything, a little blurb about it, or just simply like an inquiry page, so that people can reach out to you and ask you questions about specific artworks. Maybe they want to do a collaboration with you, perhaps that they are looking for a commission, and here's where you can start the process of what that looks like for that person. A bonus tip for that is to have your commissions in a separate section if you're fluent with commissions and you want to add your process and what that looks like for you. I have a video on the importance of using contracts with commissions, so I highly recommend watching that and incorporating that into your website and in your commission structure on your website. The third piece is the About Me, your story, or your artist statement. I personally have an artist statement and an About Me under the About Me tab on my website, so people can learn about who I am as an artist and why I came to be a creative. But they also can read about my artist statement, which is what my artwork means and why I create a certain way. Keep your artist statement super tight and fresh, and be real, be honest. We don't need a lot of jargon here. I think that's one thing that I would love to bust as a myth, is like using specific words to write something that you don't even know what you're writing about. Just keep it simple, keep it fresh, keep it tight, keep it to a few phrases. It's easier for people to digest and understand, because you might not always be selling to someone who's well versed in the art world. They just want to understand your artwork, so keep it simple. The fourth and probably the most important aspect that you need to include on your website is your policy page. So this is where you are going to stately write whether or not you do returns or refunds, whether you ship your artwork and people can ship it back, and who's covering the shipping. Here I would highly recommend your shipping policies too, like what happens if your artwork gets damaged, how you ship your artwork, how do people access you. As being clear and concise as you can here is super important, because it saves your ass if anything were to happen. It's clearly written on your website. I know for me, I also include this in a contract. So, I can divert people to the policy page if there's an issue, and know that it was written really clearly and stated on that side of my page. So if you're going to just keep it simple with your work and have a simple website, those are the 4 things I would have. So Beyond the 4 things, I have a couple bonus pages for you. One of the thing is I would have a sold artwork page. So this is up to you how you want to filter it if you're working with different mediums. If you're only working with paintings, just keep it paintings. If you're doing like mixed media, painting, ceramic sculpture, then I would have an art tab, and then I would have have it branch off to sculpture, ceramics, paintings, or if you're just working with ceramics, just keep it as ceramics. So hopefully that's clear. But you also want to have a sold tab. So if you're working with Shopify, you can actually contact the live chat and ask them to, whenever a piece is sold, automatically mark it in the sold section of your website. I have that, so whenever something sells, it just gets marked as sold, and then someone can browse my portfolio. You can, instead of it being a sold section, you can have it be a portfolio if you want to mark it in the different years that you've created. Or different collections that you have and the pieces are sold or no longer available, like you've painted over it. I've done that. Then I would have that there, because I think it's important for new customers and new commissions that may come through that just want to see your old work for inspiration or whatnot. So I would have that on your page as a bonus, not necessarily needed, but something that would be beneficial to your website. If you are an artist and you're offering more than one, let's say, channel of revenue, like you teach classes or you have online courses, incorporate this into your website. Again, this isn't a mandatory thing because not all artists are doing this, but if you are, put it in there. If you are an artist that's also teaching a class that has nothing to do with your artwork, put it in there, because it is an expression of you. There's no point in keeping 2 things separate when it is truly who you are. This is a school of thought that I live by, but there's the other school of thought that you have 2 different Instagrams and 2 different websites and profiles and such, and I keep it all under one because it's who I am, and I'm going to attract people who are like me as my clients. So have your courses on there, because people who want to work with you will also look for this kind of interaction with you. They want to know you, they want to work with you. So that is my recommendation for artists who are building a website from scratch and doing it on yourselves. I hope that was super helpful for you. I would, like I said again, in summary, use Shopify if you can. It's really easy to use. It's super good for e-commerce. And I would split it up into 4 tabs, right? I would have my About Me, my Contact and Commission, my artwork that's for sale, and I would have my policies. So I hope this was super helpful for you guys. If you have any topics you want me to cover, please comment below, share this, like this, subscribe so you don't miss a beat. And we're live every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks for tuning in, and see ya.